Hi, it's Everett, Everett's Watercolors, and this is Simply Drawing with Everett, 7:30 p.m. Here I am, live broadcast to YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, and later on into Instagram. And we're in the studio tonight with my wife, Gloria.
Welcome!
And she'll be monitoring the broadcast and also the chat room if there's a question or answers. So, if you have a question or during the broadcast, write them down in the comments section, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And even after the broadcast, you can leave me a question or a comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible in the description below. Now tonight we're going to do a drawing, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to do a perspective drawing, but I'm going to pick a favorite subject of mine, cars, and I'm going to show you how I draw those and give you some advice on how you can use them for other subjects. So let's go to my drawing table and get started. Okay, well here's a picture of an old car. Now I'm looking at when I look at something like this, first of all a location of a car, I look at its aptitude. Which way is it pointing? Well, I can see the front of the car, I can see the side, and a little bit of the top. So what I do is I draw a box around that, and then I start drawing inside the box. Let me show you what I mean. Over here I got a diagram, and I draw a box around the item in the same angle that the attitude that the figure's in. Is here. I see the front of the area, so there's a box here. I see the little bit of the top, and I see a little bit 3/4 of the size. There's like a 3/4 shot with a little bit of the top showing. So I draw a box around the outline of the object, and then I go in and I start locating. Say, here's a window, for example. I come in it's about halfway, so I come in about halfway, and I draw the window in at the angles I want to have, and the angle. Then I draw in the hood in the front, and I get the angle of the bumper area, and I start putting in the wheels, and I get the side view, which is a little bit of the window here and the back wheel, and a little bit of the top of the car is showing over here. So that is really how I draw anything. I draw a box around the area, and in three-dimensional, I've got a front, a side, and a top view. A front view, side view, and a top view. So that's how I come up with how I draw in anything. But tonight we're going to use this idea for drawing in a car. And if I had it facing the other way, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd get the angles and the shape, and I'd draw it in the same way. If I had it from the facing away from me, it'd be the same solution to the problem. Okay, so let's take a situation I'm going to show tonight. Last weekend I was out on the highway looking over the overpass, and I saw cars coming down the road. And I said, well, I'm going to draw those. I'm going to show them in my drawing class how to do that. So here's the same situation. Here's a car, several cars. And see the shape it is? It's facing this way. So what I do, as far as scale goes, I like to see the size of it also. I make a box facing the same direction as the car is in. Then I draw that car. The shape I want it to go in, the angle. So the angle here is facing this way. I see the front, a little bit of the top, and the side. So in my drawing, I can see the front, a little bit of the top, and the side. And what I do here, all I can see is in the photograph, I see a window which is darkening the side, and the wheel or tires. And that's about all I can see. I see the front window, side window, and the tires. And I can see the headlights. If it's facing me, I'll see headlights in the front. Headlights in the front. Now, here's another example. I took a shot of the other lane where cars were moving away from me, and I could see the other side of the car. Well, what did I do there? Well, it's the same thing. I draw a box. The overall shape of what I'm looking at, and then I can draw in the shape that I see. And all I can see there basically is the back window, which is darkened in. I see a little bit of the top, and I see the back end of the vehicle. Okay, and I can't see too much of the tires, just a hint. So when I draw that shape in, I draw in the square, I fill in the dark area for the windshield, I get the little wheels on the bottom, and I have the tail lights that are going to show up in the back. I have the tail lights. That's the only way I can indicate that it's moving away from me. Okay, so with those ideas in mind, yeah. Oh, okay, Gloria just mentioned it. Hi, Brazen Heart, and glad to see you. Hello, long time I know I hear from you. Just kidding around. Merry Christmas to all you out there. I haven't seen you before, or all new to me. Merry Christmas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this scene. I'm going to draw on these cars coming this way. And I'm also going to use this. I'm going to draw cars going this way. Okay, that's what we're going to do tonight. And the idea here was to draw the perspective of the cars, get the right angle. All right, so I'm going to take this painting. I'm going to take this drawing here. Here's my drawing paper, little piece of drawing paper here, and I'm going to put the drawing over here. I'm going to draw this top half up here. The first thing I need to do is get the angle of the road. So let me get the same angle here. Get the angle of the road. I'm going to transfer that over here to the paper, and I'm going to draw that in. Okay, I sight that in just like I would if I was out there eyeballing it. I'd be doing the same as a photograph. And then the same way with the other side of the road. It's going to come, I'll mark a few marks. That's going to be the straight line. Because I found a nice flat area of the road. So I wouldn't have to worry about a hill or something like that. Now let's get the other side of the road. We'll get the same angle. Come over here and draw that in. And then we'll get the other side of the road over here. Bring it over. Get that angle. Okay, so I've got the roadway pretty well defined. Now, I don't worry about the inside here. I just got the roadway. I got some trees on the side. If you look at the photograph, I got some trees out here. I'll maybe put those in later. But let's worry about the cars. I'm going to start with this front car right up here, this white car up here. It's a truck, actually. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to locate that. And I know the front side. Now, I can pretty well estimate that box. I've done enough of these that I know basically how far back I want to put the windshield. I'll get that in. So I'm really looking at the photograph here, and I'm also getting an angle here that I want. There's a little bit of the hood showing, a lot of the front windshield. And there's the back, there's a side view here, a side window. Now this is a truck, so it's going to have a truck body. So it's not going to have and I get a little bit of the top showing, Then I get the back now, the back side. And now I can see the wheels. I'll put there's the fender. Right up in the front and the bottom. Okay, now just by looking at that now, I pretty well got a drawing now of that shape. Now I'm going to go ahead and shade in what I saw. And the windshield now is going to be darkened in because it's in shadow. And that's typically when you see a car parked or whatever or moving along. You're going to see their front window or the back window is going to be, you're not going to be able to see through it. It's going to be shaded. And then I can put the wheels in. On the side, on the back. Now it's got a grill here. I can make a little mark here about where I think the grill is. I'll make a little mark of the grill. The grill's got a little shape to it. So I'll put a little mark, a little shape there for the grill. And I can go ahead and put a little bit of shading there also. Okay, and that's about it. Now I'll get this car behind now. There's a car right behind that one. It's a little bit smaller. And it's darker. It's got a black, so I'm going to shape that in. I'm going to get the scale. It's facing the same way. So basically I can reuse the same shape area, but now it's going to be smaller. So I'm going to scale this one down just a little bit smaller. I'm going to shade in the front. I'm going to shade in the front window as a small side window. I can see the wheels on it, just barely see the wheels, but enough indicating the wheels on it. Okay. All right. There's one. I'm gonna get one more. I'm gonna maybe get these two small. There's two right here, way in the back, So I can move that along. I'm gonna estimate where that is. That's about 2/3 of the way back to the back of the drawing. So they'll go about right here. Now they're gonna be very small. So I'm gonna basically get a shape here, a box. I can show a little bit of the windshield here in the front, and that's about it. And there's a larger van, or it looks like a truck, in the back of that. I can be a little bit bigger, a little bit higher than this one. So estimate that. Get the windshield in. Get the wheels. It can be very small. Not going to see much at all. But just indicating there are now 4 cars on that side.
We have a comment and a question. Is this a good time for that?
Yeah, I can stop there for a second.
Okay. The comment is from Alice Crum, drawing the road to a great 2025.
Oh.
And the question is from Brazen Hearted, how is drawing a box different from using a grid method other than isolating individual components of the drawing?
Well, the grid method is just getting you. The grid method would be to get the sizing and the shape of it, the sizing. The box is just to get into a 3-dimensional drawing. If you notice here, let's show me my diagram real quick. Oh, the diagram. The box is 3-dimensional. Just like I showed in the photograph, you got a front edge. That's one side of the box. You got the side edge, which is the other side, and the third is a third side of the box. 1, 2, 3. So the box gives you a 3-dimensional look of the object, where the grid method just gives you a flat. In other words, the grid would just show you, if you're looking at the side view only, you would only get the outline or the silhouette. Now, doing a silhouette of something is fine. You can do the grid method to get a silhouette, to get the shape and the size. But to get a 3-dimensional look, you need a box because you're looking at both the height, the width, and the depth of the object. So that's what a box is for. You want to get dimension. So this one down here now, I'm looking at this car right now. I'm using the other side of the road now. I got two photographs. This is the left road. This is the right side. I took 2 separate photographs. So this one here, I'll get this video right here, this vehicle right here, and I'm going to start drawing in right here. So I can show the side. I can show the side of it, the bottom. I can show the roof. The roof comes up. It's got some kind of a luggage rack on it. I'm not going to put that. I'm going to ignore that. I'm just going to show the roof itself. You can't really see the hood because it's forward. Remember, we're looking at this thing in 3-dimensional. We're looking down from a high angle. I was over the overpass looking down on the vehicles. And I can see the bottom of the car right there. and I can see some of the structure of the wheels, so I can put those in. Now I can go ahead and shade in the windshield. Oh, you can't see what I'm sorry. What I do is from the box method, I got the top of the box, so I can see the top of the vehicle right here. I can see the side of the vehicle, a little bit of it, not very much, and I can see the back. So there's the front, the top, and the side. That's the three sides of a box. Side, top, and front. So then this is really the back of the car I'm looking at right here, because I'm going to see the back of the car with the, and I can see the wheels. I can go ahead and darken those in. And I can see the side angle of the side windows right there. So that's enough to describe that vehicle right there. I can see the top of the vehicle, I can see the back, and I can see a little bit of the side. That's the three sides of the three angles of three sides of the box. All right, this one up here now. This is a little bit easier. This vehicle right here, all I can see is the top and the back. I don't see the sides at all. So this one I just need to make a simple box with a little bit of perspective. The front will be a little bit narrower than the back because it's going away. I can see a little bit of the top. I see the back windshield or the back window, and I see the back of the vehicle. And I can see the wheels on the road. Okay, and here's another one over here. You see these two other vehicles, real small. These are smaller, going away. So I'm going to show you tonight, perspective-wise, when we move back into the background of a landscape, things get smaller, and of course this is why this is smaller. Still the same shapes, but they get much smaller. And so I'm just kind of using the picture here to draw those in. Okay, so there, what I've drawn in so far, I've drawn in the cars over heading toward me, and these are the cars moving away. And I got them in perspective, where I got the side view of both of these cars, the front view of the front, and I see a little bit of the top. So that's three sides of the box I see. Here I can see three sides, front, back, side, and top. Here I can only see two sides, the back and the top. And the same way here, back and the top. So that makes the drawing a little simpler when you're drawing with just two sides going straight away. Okay, and then I can go ahead and put in a few, maybe a few little trees over here on the side. Not going to have much time to do this. I can show you one that I did a little bit earlier. It'll give you an idea also how I did it. So then I go ahead and shade in the trees that are vertical. And no, perspective-wise, that's again, that helps with the perspective for our size. You got a larger trees up here, and they go back, they get smaller as we go back into the background. The same way over here, the trees get larger as we come forward along the side of the road. Okay, now as far as shading in, what I would do here is the roadway has got a blacktop, so I can go ahead and shade some of that in. The center part here is pretty light. It's just brown grass and so forth. I can just leave that alone. I might put a little bit of texture in there, but if I don't have time, I just indicate that it's texture grass. But I can shade a little bit of the roadway just to give you an idea of how I would do that. And same way over here. That way it kind of breaks up the drawing a little bit. Now I'm not going to put the color in here because I'm going to use strictly black and white. So I'm going to use just leave the colors alone as they are. I'm going to indicate a little bit of how they're headed. I want the angle, the size, and which direction they're heading. That's basically all I can really determine right now. I can add more detail if I had more time, and if I want to put more detail into the drawing. Okay, so I could shade a little bit of the roadway, and I can take my blender and do a little bit of shading. I'll spend some time on that because the surroundings is very important. When you're drawing, the surroundings are very important. So the roadway is important, showing that these cars are on the highway, on the blacktop. When I'm drawing, the cars are a lot of fun to draw. These had to be moving at the time, so I had to take a lot of pictures, and I found the pictures I liked the best for the drawing here. But I'll show you some other pictures before we leave. I'll show you other pictures I've done with cars. They're different status, not moving at all, which are easier to draw. But if they're moving like this, you just take a snapshot or capture a video and then get a still out of a video. Even a video, you can get a still out of it. Just freeze the video and draw what you see, if you had to. All right. So now the last step I do is when I do this is indicate the headlights in this side over here. The cars are moving toward me. So I'm going to use a yellow watercolor pencil. These are general pencil. I have these on my website, everettwatercolors.com. But any watercolor pencil would work. You can also use color pencils. So here I'm putting the headlights in, and that indicates that those vehicles are moving toward me. Okay, so I put those. You can see that I put yellow here on the headlights, and over here I got these cars moving away from me on the right. So I'm going to put the taillights in here. And that way I know I can indicate that those are cars moving away by showing the taillights. So these over here are moving away. You can see with the red taillights, they're moving that way, and with the ones with the yellow headlights are moving this way. Okay, so that's just a little trick I have, the way I do it. So to take something like this, a picture like this, a photograph like this, and I took two different angles. I'm going to show you a couple of examples here, what else I did, but this is just a general idea. I got a general idea. I took these photographs, got some stills, then I drew up the design of this roadway with the left and the right side, and then I put the cars in those locations as best I could, as far as size. And I looked at the scale of the cars, large, medium, and small. Here's a large, medium, and small. So those are the scales. And then I could do a drawing from that pretty accurately. And you get from the drawing, you get a pretty good idea of what's going on. Okay? All right. So that's drawing cars in perspective. Now let me show you some more examples. Okay, I started out by showing you how to draw one car by itself by making a box. Make that box, no matter which way it faces. Draw the box first, get your attitude, which way it's heading, get the front, side, and top view if you have that. If you just got the side view, then you'll just get the outline, or you'll just get the profile. You get the profile from the side. Now, gotta lift this up here. Okay, I'm going to show you one here. I did this one. I did this on a sketchbook when I come back for practice. This is one I did on my sketchbook, and I drew the same. I took the same photographs. And I drew this. This is what it would look like if I had a little more time to finish it up. I have the cars on the road located, size-wise and everything. and I drew in the landscape, the trees, and the ground, and the roadway. So that's what a more or less almost a finished painting, finished drawing would look like with cars in perspective. Cars up front and cars way in the back. Okay, I didn't put any color on this, just black and white. But all you can see here is you can see the windshield here coming forward. Here you can see the back window going away. And you see wheels on the cars themselves. Those are about the only spots that you can use. So let me show you another couple more examples. Now this is the one I did this. This is the view I had. I did this plein air. I actually did this on location, looking at the roadway. And then I put the cars in there after I got back into the studio. But I did the roadway, and I knew I had the cars. But this was I did this on location, the sketch, just by looking over the overpass, looking at the roadway. And this is in my walk and sketch journal, which I do every day or every other day. When I go walking, I capture a site that I want to capture, and I'll draw what I see there, and I'll bring it back to the studio, and then add to it or add more detail when I get back to the studio. And then I documented in my journal. Now here's a couple of cars I wanted to show you. This is my walk sketch. These cars here were parked along the roadway. You see these 4 cars parked here. And here's the drawing I did on location. Those same 4 cars. The one up front and the 3 behind. So I did that standing across the street. I did a quick sketch. It's about a 5-minute sketch, and I caught the shape and the size. Going there. This drawing here was actually I got an arrow to myself. These 2 cars parked here on the side of the street. I drew those here, 1 and 2. These 2 cars here I drew from this picture here. And the last one here, as I drew another one from this angle. I wanted to get a back view, and then 2 front views over here. So this drawing is of this picture up here. Okay. Now I did this on location. I did this standing on the street corner. It took me about 10 or 15 minutes, and I drew these sketches here of these cars from these and not from the photograph. I came back. I brought the photograph. And I went back and added a little more, not too much detail, but I had them as references so I could use those to put in the windows. And look, if you notice my drawings, all I have is the windshield, the back window, the wheels, and whether it's got a tail light or a headlight. That's all I have, and the general shape and the direction they're moving in, and the size. That's about all you can do when you draw a car. Very simple. Okay, now I'm going to show you one more now. This one, okay, I went into the parking lot and I found this car parked here. It was this white car with the tail lights and everything. I really liked the shape of that. And I stood there for about, I guess it was close to 15 minutes. And I drew it in myself. I drew that photograph. So I took more time on this one. You can see it. It's a much better drawing. It's almost exactly the shape I wanted. So I drew this one from this, right, I did it on location, plein air. I drew this car. This was the shape I made. Again, I got the windows, got the tail lights, and I got the wheels and the shape of the car. But I got some more definition. I got the door latches. I got the shape of the wheels, a little bit fancier over there. You'll see the fancy wheels. I got the tail lights, and I got the little exhaust here, and I got the actual back of the car. I got the license plate and a little symbol back here. So I got more detail from the photograph and on location. And this last one here I did, I took this photograph because I want to get 2 aspects. I got a car facing me, I got a truck facing away. So over here I got the truck. This one's straight ahead. So all I could do was get the front and the windshield and the tires from this view right here. This dark vehicle here. Get the windshield, the front view, and the tires. And I can show that I got the headlights coming forward. This truck over here is like a 3 view. I could get the back side and the side. Side view and the back. That's all I could get. The top I couldn't see. Because I was at street level, that's all I could see. Well, the one I showed you over the overpass, I was looking down, and I could see 3 sides of the car: the front, the side, and the top. If you can see all 3 sides, you draw them. If you don't, you just draw what you see. So here I drew in the 2 sides that I saw, the side and the back. But I got the windows, I got the tires, and I got the tail light. Okay, so those are some examples of things that I have done as far as drawing cars. And so today's, let's go back to my, ooh. Oh, Alice is on there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to draw on there. There we go. Hi, I'm back. Okay, well, I enjoy that. I always enjoy, I draw certain things I really like. I like trees. But I also like to draw cars. I've drawn a lot of cars in the past. But I wanted to show you today a little bit of how to draw a car and put it in perspective. If you're looking down, if you want to do a street scene with people on and a few cars on the road, you got to get them at the right angle and the right attitude. How are they facing? They facing left, right? Can you see the top of the car or just the back of the car? Can you see some of the sides? So you really have to decide how much of the car you can see and what angle you're looking at. That's why I use the box as a reference point. If you can see all 3 sides, you're going to see the side, the front or back, and the top. That's why the box method is good for getting 3 sides. If you're just using the side view, getting the profile, then you're just going to get one shape, one profile. Or the back, you're going to get a profile. Just get the window. It's important you get the window shapes, and the wheels, if you get them on there, and then whichever is a headlight or taillights. And that pretty well defines a car sitting on the street or in traffic or whatever. And then you put that into a drawing, such as a street scene or something like that. It gives a little more interest to the drawing, and it makes it a little more realistic when you put something like that added into a drawing. So you can add a car to a scene at any time, but the scale is very important. And I think scaling is like anything in drawing. You get the right scale and the proportions is the same thing. But drawing that box around, I think, will help you a lot. And draw almost anything with a box if you got all 3 side views, and put it in dimension. Okay, so I'll be back next week at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with another simply drawing with Everett. Make it as simple as I can. Okay, trying to explain. But you go back and look at the video again, and maybe look at it again, stop it, repeat it. Try it yourself. Draw some vehicles yourself. Practice is very important, especially in drawing or in painting. And I'll be on. Anyone can draw with one line only on Sunday. I'll put out a drawing there. And I'll be back again next Thursday at 2:00 p.m. with Everett's Watercolors, with a watercolor demonstration and discussion. So until next week, you all stay safe. Happy New Year, everyone. Glad you're all back in town. And take care and stay safe. And I'll see you on the next